Elizabeth Kostova. I'm the author of 2 novels, The Historian, and most recently, The Swan Thieves, which is the story of a psychiatrist delving into the past of his painter patient. I have a strong sense of who my readers are, I think. They tend to be people who are very interested in literature. Many of them are great readers. They're sometimes particularly interested in a subject matter. Dracula with the historian, East European history, travel. And with the Swan Thieves, I've had a lot of people come to readings on this tour who are avid painters, or they love art history, or they love museums. So there's kind of a connection with art for a lot of readers who show up. I know it seems like kind of a strange jump to make a transition from a first novel about Dracula and the legends of and history of Vlad the Impaler to French Impressionist painting. But I really wanted to learn something new with each book and have a chance to do research that's completely new to me. It's also, in a way, they're not that different. They're both about books about obsession and obsession with history and the way we are haunted by history in contemporary life. I think The Swan Thieves feels a little bit more introspective as a book, partly because of the subject matter. It's really a book about people's internal lives, their love of their artwork. In the case of the narrator, his knowledge of human psychology, because it has this psychiatrist narrator who works with an artist. It's also about people's personal lives in a very intimate way. There are several rather unusual love stories in the novel. So I think that an introspective tone worked for me with this novel, although there is, again, a mystery that has to be kind of solved by the end of the story. I researched The Swan Thieves in a very similar way to The Historian. I did a lot of kind of traditional research, reading any primary sources I could find. In this case, a lot of letters written by 19th century French artists, journals, and certainly other sources like biographies. And for The Swan Thieves, I did a lot of looking at paintings in person. I mean, in a way, it was a great excuse to go to all the museums I've loved and not only look at artwork there again, but actually set scenes in particular rooms and galleries. I've used letters in both my novels. They're both partly epistolary, and I think we all have a secret wish that we could read other people's letters. And of course, now the letter is kind of a dying art form. And I really wanted to give that sense of intimacy you get with character and knowledge of the character's voice, and especially the character's self-perception, which you can get very directly from a letter. There's the visual, and then there's something that goes in black and white on the page in letters, in words. And then somehow through that we get a window again on the visual. But for this book I tried really hard to, I invented a lot of paintings for it. As you know, a lot of the paintings are fictional actually, although they're based on particular artists' work or styles. And I tried really hard to write the way you would sketch without looking at the page, if that makes sense. I mean, I tried to look with my mind's eye at a painting that didn't exist, or one that does exist, and to choose words for it that had as much to do with reactions as with descriptions. It's very hard not to be cliché when you write about a painting. And you can also end up doing a kind of pure description that's just color and form, and this is in the middle and that's in the left-hand corner. And what I really wanted to convey was a character's reaction to a painting, but still give some kind of visual guide to it. I hope that readers will take away some kind of fresh love of giving themselves time to enjoy the visual arts. My obsessions apart from writing, I'm not sure I have any.